Good day, everybody. It is currently the 9th of January 2014. Meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you, and we are continuing to watch, well, several areas out here. And first, we're going to take a look at our infrared imagery and talk about the highlights in the weather today. First and foremost, we'll talk about this for the bulk of the update. Invest now 91W. It was 90W. It really lost a lot of its convectivity, kind of got took off the map, now changed over to 91. For all intents and purposes, still the same low pressure area here that was south of Guam. Now moving off here towards the west. Don't expect this to develop into anything significant. And having a named storm system out of this seems very, very low at this time as far as the JMA scale. I think that Bagasa could make this in towards Agaton because they upgrade their names at tropical depression. Time's going to tell on that. Big thing with this, it's going to be a big rainmaker by the end of the weekend and into next week as it sits over the Philippines. Also, I want to talk about, and we'll talk about this first actually, since it's really today where it's going to be happening. It's a snowfall across much of Japan. We're talking about some intense sea effect snow, and if we could take a look at the radar imagery at this time, you can see those sea effect snow bands really setting up out here, and that's typical for this time of year. So why am I making a deal about it? Well, it's not just here. It does look like a shortwave trough is going to set up over the Kanto Plain after our cold front races off there towards the northeast. What does that mean? Well, for inland locations and even near coastal areas, I think it's possible we could be seeing some snow later on this evening between 18 and 2100. That's in Tokyo. We even switch this up to Kanagawa, and you can see, take a look at that, 18 to 21. You got some snowfall in your forecast, so stand by for that. Just wait for it to come down. It's not going to be anything too heavy. If it does occur, probably just some light accumulations, maybe a dusting enough to scrape something off a car and make a snowball. But once again, we'll get a little bit of a troughing rate in here, and you see the 540 line that separates the snow from the rain typically. North of that, look at all this. Well, this is all snow that's going to be setting up. This is during the evening hours. I'm showing you right here. And south, that's rain. And once again, that's all sea effect snow. Atypical for this time of year, but some areas out here still could see about 50 centimeters going through the next 24 hours. So if you got ski plans this weekend, you're definitely going to be very excited about that. One other thing, though, just on Thursday is where I expect the snowfall in the Tokyo area. The snow is going to stay there across the Sea of Japan coastline into the weekend. It really is going to be lingering out there, but this is going to taper off going into Thursday night, Friday. It'll definitely be gone. So it's just a short time. Wait for it to come. Back to the big picture, though. Let's talk about our Invest Now 91W pulling off here towards the west. It looks like a lot of cloud cover, and that's the biggest problem with this. It's not so much the winds. Yeah, we are going to see some gusty winds. Do remember that, but it's not going to be so much directly associated with our little low pressure area here. I'm actually showing you right here, right now, we're looking at the morning of the 11th, and if we could zoom right in on the Philippines, we have our low pressure area just off the eastern portions of Mindanao, and you can see if we click on this, up to about 62-kilometer winds, and 65 would be the threshold for tropical storm. But really, this is just going to be an elongated low pressure, and it's more so due to the interaction with the northeast monsoon, because if we click clear off here towards the north, we're still seeing winds up to 70 kilometers per hour. I mean, right off the coast of Samar here. That's tropical storm strength winds. So it's going to be some very breezy conditions, granted, going into Friday and eventually Saturday out here as our little low pressure area comes on shore. Not directly associated with it, but those winds associated with the northeast monsoon, it's going to be, well, very unpleasant for a lot of you. Storm surge or anything like that? No, but waves definitely very choppy. I would not venture out to the water as our little low pressure area just lingers off the coastline here. So let's take a look ahead into the forecast. This is by Friday into Saturday, what you were looking at there. Now, once again, it is the winds associated with the monsoon, but I think the biggest threat is going to be the rains. You can look at this. Some pretty heavy rains from Visayas down through Mindanao. Don't worry, Luzon, you're also going to feel the effects of this because as this moves off here towards the west, it's going to start to linger and basically park over the central portions of the Philippines. And you can see that high pressure off here towards the north. That's going to act as a buffer. So this ain't going anywhere anytime fast. The trough that would pick it up still way off here towards the northeast. So as we go ahead into Monday and Tuesday, it's still there. And then eventually by, well, Tuesday night into Wednesday, we start to see this turn off towards the northeast. Take a look at that on Monday evening. Everybody's really feeling the effects of this widespread heavy rainfall, and I think there's a serious risk of flooding with this, especially in Visayas, and especially for people that, well, they're in temporary shelters and in very weak shelters. That's always a problem in Manila, but many people who are affected by Haiyan still recovering, and this despite its weakness, and it very well is just going to be a tropical depression and maybe a tropical storm, still could cause some problems out here. And we even saw, I'm not going to compare it with Washi, but if you remember Washi or Sendong, that caused numerous deaths, and that remained at tropical storm intensity. So even though it's not making it a typhoon, you still want to take it quite seriously and be ready for this. Now let's take a look with the NavGem model. Even keeps it weaker. It doesn't even close off that center of circulation at least out until Monday and Tuesday. You see it deepen rapidly, and then it moves across Visayas. But once again, it's still bringing widespread rainfall out here, and also you can see that interaction with the northeast monsoon as it does come on shore there by Saturday into Sunday. So yeah, let's continue to watch this one. This definitely is going to be a big topic this weekend, and in the next week, we will continue to keep you updated here at westernpacificweather.com for a soon-to-be likely tropical depression. And actually just noticed this right before I shut off this cast here. JMA has now plopped a tropical depression for their 48-hour forecast. So this is by Saturday, or actually this is by Friday night, just towards the southeast of Mindanao. So they're expecting a low pressure area and a tropical depression to form up here in the middle part of January. Thanks for watching, everybody, and stay safe out there.